Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Florida Weather Watch YouTube channel. My name is Daniel, and I'm the owner of the Florida Weather Watch YouTube channel and the Florida Weather Watch Facebook page. Please subscribe and follow to both my YouTube page by clicking the subscribe button down below and going to Facebook, searching up Florida Weather Watch, and I will put that in the description as well. A link to my Facebook page there, uh, so that I can continue to grow this community and continue to spread awareness of any severe weather or tropical weather here in Florida. Well, yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, was quite the dramatic and historic day for much of South Florida, as many locations experienced some incredible flooding that occurred yesterday because of a perfect ingredients that came together to just amounts of rainfall over the greater Miami and Hollywood areas, as well as interior states. And that is why today the Weather Prediction Center has issued a rare high risk for excessive rainfall across the areas that got inundated with very heavy rainfall yesterday. So the areas that we're looking at are stretching from Collier County and northern Monroe County here. So we're talking about the near Naples right here and Marco Island, stretching across to Broward County, including Fort Lauderdale and Hollywood, and the northern Miami region here. This region has a high risk for flash flooding, for excessive rainfall, um, because of just the incredible amounts of rainfall that we've seen in the past few days, and especially yesterday. So I cannot emphasize these tips down here enough. Okay. Hopefully, some people learned their lessons yesterday that you do not drive in flooded roadways, ladies and gentlemen, because of the simple fact that you don't know how deep that water is. And many cars got trapped and stuck in floodwaters all throughout the Miami, Hollywood region yesterday because the waters were too deep for their cars to be able to handle. So please do not drive into flooded roadways, and make sure you remember to turn around and don't drown. And please pay close attention to flood warnings that do occur. Okay, so we have a high risk for excessive rainfall and flash flooding across Collier, Broward, and northern Miami-Dade counties, but there is a risk for heavier rainfall that exists to the north for Lee County, Henry County, extending into Palm Beach County, and then even to the lower parts of Miami-Dade and Monroe counties here. There's a risk for excessive rainfall and possible flash flooding. Okay, let's take a look at some of these rainfall totals. Ever since Monday morning at 8 a.m., there have been some very impressive rainfall totals. The Big Cypress Nature Reserve in the Everglades has received 25 inches of rain since Monday morning. That is over 2 feet of rain in that period of time. North Miami. So we're talking about North Miami. The Aventura area has received 20.4 inches of rainfall. That's almost 2 feet, ladies and gentlemen. Hallandale has received 19.39 inches of rain, closing in on 20 inches of rain. Um, Hollywood, uh, where I live, ladies and gentlemen, has had 19.1 inches of rain. Um, Honeymoon, I'm not sure where that area is. Everglades City has received on the west coast of Florida, so this has been spreading across, by the way. The west coast of Florida has also been getting this, the southwest coast of Florida. Everglades City has gotten 14.45 inches of rain. Miami Beach at 13.26. That was primarily on Tuesday, when most of that rainfall fell, not yesterday. Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airports received 13 inches of rain. Sarasota, mainly on Monday and Tuesday, received 11.9 inches of rain. Marco Island's looking at 9.38 inches of rain. And then the Naples, Key Largo areas have received 8 inches of rain, with Fort Myers picking up 7.5 inches of rain since Monday morning. Now, what's causing all this is a kind of a hybrid of systems here, where we have this is the water vapor. I mean, this is the visible satellite loop. So the area of low pressure that I was showing on Monday has crossed the state here, and the area of low pressure now is in the southwest Atlantic here, uh, off the coast of Georgia and northern Florida here. So you can see a lot of the cloud cover and everything that has come through there. And then also, it's kind of hard to see, but there has been kind of a boundary that has formed off of this area of low pressure here that I'm going to denote in blue here. So there's kind of been a boundary here that has developed mainly across Tampa and going into these regions here, where some drier air is filtering around it. But what's happening is it's causing a big surge of moisture to come across Florida here. And you could see uh, pretty well here. There is a abundance of showers and thunderstorms and rainfall here across the southern part of the state here. And generally speaking, all this moisture is going to follow uh, this low out to sea. So it's generally going to be coming in this direction here. Okay, so all of this rainfall and all this moisture is going to eventually track out to the ocean here. And then there's also some moisture coming up from the Caribbean, from Cuba, up towards the southeast part of the state of Florida here. So all these ingredients together are coming together to create a perfect storm and a perfect environment for heavy rainfall across South Florida here. And this pattern is going to remain in place for at least the next 2 days. Hopefully by Saturday, this will finally start to break down into our normal pattern for weather, which is daily isolated to maybe scattered thunderstorms. But until this system finally leaves the scene here, until this storm system finally moves out and away, and it will do so eventually. It's going to move out and away into the Atlantic here. Until that moves away, it's gonna take some time to get rid of all of this moisture here, and all this moisture and thunderstorms here, this rainfall here, will travel over the Florida Peninsula today. I mean, over the southern part of Florida here. You can see there's already showers and thunderstorms covering the west coast of Florida here. Um, but another thing is this graphic right here kind of illustrates this the best. Okay, this is at the 925 millibar level of the atmosphere. So we're looking at very low in the atmosphere. We're looking at about 500 feet, 500 to 1,000 feet in the atmosphere here. Okay, and this is telling us how deep is the moisture, number one. Okay, and number two, what direction is that moisture moving? Okay, as known by these vectors here. So you can see that a lot of this moisture is moving towards and up through the southern Florida area here. And when you see these two areas right here, these two vectors kind of going in directions kind of towards each other, you get what's called moisture convergence here. And there's a lot of moisture available as denoted in this red. Um, wow, let's draw that better. As denoted in this red area right here. Okay. So this is very deep tropical moisture here that exists over South Florida. Okay, these red colors don't show up too often, but when they do, you know you got tropical moisture. And there's also a feed of tropical moisture down here in the Florida Straits. So all of this is going to feed into South Florida today and into the Southwest Florida region. And notice with these vectors that are here, these where they show the direction um, of this moisture transport. Notice that it concentrates a lot into the Southwest Florida region here, and then we have one that's going in this direction here. So we're having moisture that's coming in this direction here, moisture that's coming in this direction here, and a lot of that means that in this general area, The same areas where there's been heavy rainfall the past few days, we're going to see a repeat today. Uh, Luckily, so far, it hasn't started yet for the east side of South Florida here. Um, but on radar here, we are noticing here there is a big band, a big line of pretty heavy showers and thunderstorms here. Not to severe limits yet, but there's a long line here of heavier rain and thunderstorms that is now starting to work towards the South Florida region here. This will eventually come into Southeast Florida later today. Cape Coral, you're getting slammed with some very heavy rainfall right now. Naples, you're about to get started. But I also want you to note, remember those vectors, those the arrows I'm showing you? Look at this. You can see the moisture just starting to stream up into Florida here. And then you could also notice how this moisture is starting to move in this general direction here. So eventually, all this will fill in to Palm Beach, Broward, and Miami-Dade County, and hopefully, though, we will not see the catastrophic flash flood emergency levels that we reached yesterday in southeast Broward and northern Miami-Dade counties. Now, over the next few days here, the next 2 days, this is the precipitation forecast from the National Weather Service. Notice how uh, the northern Florida region barely gets any rainfall. Maybe a little bit of thunderstorm activity near Panama City today, but other than that, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, Gainesville, Daytona Beach, you all are on the dry side of this storm. Okay, so that you're on the dry side of the storm, where that boundary's kind of set up across Central Florida here. You're gonna see your afternoon scattered shower and thunderstorms there, but most of the rainfall for the next 2 days again concentrates down here in southern Florida, where another 3 to maybe 5 inches of rainfall can be expected. Um, and one thing I want to emphasize, these rainfall forecasts are very hard to get down pat. This shows the general expectation, but there's some areas that could get less rainfall than forecast, some areas that get more than forecast, as we have definitely seen from all these very impressive rainfall totals with all this flash flooding that occurred over South Florida over the past couple days here. Okay. So the bottom line is, ladies and gentlemen, there will be more rainfall, more showers and thunderstorms occurring over these same areas of South Florida that have received heavy rainfall over the past couple days. Um, Please make sure that you pay attention for any flash flood warnings, and especially if a flash flood emergency gets issued, that means there's life-threatening flash flooding occurring at that moment. A flood watch, by the way, continues. I forgot to go over this. What this green line here means. This flood watch does continue for South Florida, for these areas in South Florida through Friday evening, through Friday at 8 p.m. Okay, so flooding is still possible and could be expected across, especially Collier, um, Broward, Monroe, and Miami-Dade counties, and even parts of Henry County and Lee County here are in the flood watch. Uh, this entire area could expect more flooding rainfall possible, and this entire area of heavier rainfall here and stronger thunderstorms over here where Cape Coral and Naples are, that's eventually going to start sliding its way over towards the east. And later this afternoon and evening, that's when Southeast Florida will have more of their rainfall. But with that being said, please, please, please do not underestimate flooding. Flooding can be dangerous. It could even turn deadly at times. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining for this Thursday update on the flooding threat for South Florida. Please make sure that you heed any warnings that come out, and please remember, turn around, don't drown. Have a terrific Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. And as my great cross country coach Jim Richardson would always tell me, there'll be weather, whether or not. But whatever the weather will be, no matter how wet the weather will be, I'll be here to keep you ahead of the storm. Thank you very much, and have a terrific rest of your Thursday.